Hello, welcome to Then What Happened. When I was a kid, I had this little horse named Cheyenne. I don't know where my dad got him, but he was crazy. I think he probably was raised by small kids and they had him and spoiled him and he just did whatever he wanted. You could ride him around for a little while, but when he got enough of it, he just took off and sometimes he just left you behind. One day I'm riding him and I'd had him a little while, so I was kind of trying to get used to this monster. And well, he might not have been a monster. That might be judging him unjustly. He just didn't have a good education. But he took off one day with me, and right in the middle of the pasture there was a bodark tree. And if you're not familiar with bodark, they have thorns on them, and he ran under a low-hanging limb and it cut me across the back of the neck. I ducked just in time to keep it from poking me in the eye. Then he ran up to the fence and tried to rake me off on the fence as best he could, getting just as close as he could to my leg and running full speed. He gets up to the pen, which a lot of you might call the corral. We called it the pen. Gate was closed, of course. That's where we would take the horses up, put some feed out, get them to come up. Then we'd catch them in there, put the bridle on them, saddle them. The gate was closed. The gate was only a couple of boards slid across the opening. Cheyenne's running full out, and I'm doing all I can to hold on to him, hide, hair, saddle, holding everything I can. And he gets there to the gate, and he just slams on the brakes. And I go flying over his head, over the little gate, into the pen, in the dirt. I get up, I'm bloody, I'm dirty. He's just standing there looking at me like, how'd you wind up in there? And I knew that day he'd beat me, but he wasn't going to. I stayed with him and rode him a lot after that, and I learned a lot. Maybe he learned something too, but I really think that Cheyenne taught me more than I taught him. You know, life's like that. Sometimes life runs away with us. We don't know how to handle it. I've been dealing with life a long time in a lot of different areas, in a lot of different ways. I know what it's like to do without a few things, and I know what it's like to enjoy a lot of stuff. But sometimes life just takes off. And if we're not careful, it'll dump us. It'll throw us in the dirt. It'll stop when we least expect it and screech to a halt that we can't hang on to. You know what we do when that happens? You've heard this many times. You get back up. And that day in that pen, I was hurt, bloody, embarrassed, mad. I got up, I grabbed that bridle, and I got back on that little SOB, and we rode off again. And I tried it again, and I kept trying it. And I'm glad I kept trying it because I've ridden a lot of good ones since then. Not all of them were crazy. In fact, the majority of them weren't. There's a lot of good left to life. Don't be destroyed by one circumstance. Don't be discouraged by one runaway with life that didn't turn out well. There's going to be a lot more runs. There are going to be a lot more struggles. But there are going to be a lot more good times too. There's going to be stories to tell and places to go, things to see and do that you won't even be able to imagine. So get up. Dust yourself off. Get some help if you need it. Take care of that cut, that bloody nose, that black eye. I've got a few jaw teeth that were chipped off by another horse quite a few years later. We keep going and we keep doing what we do. We smile at life, no matter what it gives us, because that's the way we live and survive and encourage others. So grab hold and hang on. Let's do it. Thank you for joining us on Then What Happens. Comment, subscribe, like. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. Have a great afternoon.